I just got it.
No, there
She
isn't
needed...
sissies.
No, she needed lift 2 to do her teleportation, and therefore she couldn't do 2 tricks at once. Right? She couldn't come up with Mr. Hat. Right? Because the eyes would be on Mr. Hat at the time. I love Bonnie so much, man. She's my favorite character.
Wait,
Holy crap.
she's just changed her opinion here. Now do you see who the real killer is? Come on, Gramps. Don't just sit there. Hand down your ruling pronto. She just flipped character again.
I love this lady.
Do
I'm
it
a
quick
simp.
before you keel over up there.
I beg your pardon?
Oops. Oh, well, it's gotten into me. I'm so sorry.
I gave her another 5 minutes before she tears off that mess.
Well, Defense. Are you ready to let it all go now?
Of course not. I'll never give up.
I see. I suppose this too is fate. The sacred scriptures of Quranism describe a variety of hells for the damned. For someone like you who struggles ceaselessly against his fate, Papua Bolgil seems most appropriate.
And what does that entail? People boil what? Oh wait, that's Kuranese.
Ah, boil. We're gonna become Odin himself. We're gonna be born to boil.
People boil what? Oh wait, that's Kuranese. What sort of terrible place is Papo bulging?
People boiling.
People boiling.
A place where the more one struggles, the further one falls into the abyss. At the bottom of the abyss, a ferocious beast awaits. Think of it as something akin to an aniline sand trap.
Oh, there's one of those in my backyard. Wow, Kuranist hell closer to home than I thought. Now then! It would appear that the witness's testimony supports the prosecution's claim.
No, it doesn't. It's contradictory, but the game wouldn't let us.
That the defendant is the only one who could have killed the victim under stage. I still don't think it happened under stage. How are we supposed to get it out of this jam? I might have another mic enabled.
Oh.
Hey, Paolo, if you can't find any contradictions, maybe it's time to use analytical psychology. Oh my god, yes. You mean... I heard some discord in Bunny's voice while she was testifying. Oh my god, yes. See? Widget is packing up on the noise in her heart, too. That's right, Athena can hear things others can't with her super-sensitive hearing. She can hear the emotions people suppress as kind of a noise and discord in their voices. I can't wait to hear this mix. Alright then, Athena, let's give it a try. You got it!
Hold it!
Your Honor, I'm afraid that our witness, Miss Stefan, is suffering under terrible traumatic stress due to this horrible incident. She is? Yes, what's with that terrible death on stage? And her beloved Trissy getting arrested, she's under awful strain and shock. In fact, I don't know how much more she can take before she's unfit to testify.
What?
Oh, I've heard of that. What is this called? Postal stress disorder, right? Where a person becomes uncontrollably angry, I think. I read about it somewhere. That's going postal, Your Honor. This is PTSD. Oh my. So that's why the witness acts so hostile at times, as if she were a different person. Yes, and I think her condition is clouding her memory of the incident. Therefore, I suggest a short therapy session for the witness.
Huh? Therapy? You don't know the first thing about a magician's mental strength. I risk my life jumping through hoops and rings of fire to have my body swan in half. Oopsie. I have to watch my temper, don't I?
Miss Sykes, please do whatever you can to help this unfortunate young lady.
And what exactly is this child planning to do, Mr. Justice?
With her super-sensitive hearing, Miss Sykes can hear a witness's true emotions. And from the tone and inflection, she can tell exactly what a person is feeling. I can even pick out feelings that a witness is trying to suppress or hide. Widget projects out emotions I hear onto the moon matrix, where I can analyze them.
It sounds like some sort of spurious devilry. Though I find it hard to believe, I must ask. How do emotions constitute evidence?
Well, I won't say the emotions can be taken as evidence, per se. I have seen how instrumental Miss Sykes' work has been in cracking a case.
Thank you, Judge. You're being useful for once. You're like, Mr. Prosecutor, you haven't seen it before, but I have. It has helped solve 5 cases now. We're gonna let this happen.
Therefore, I wholly support giving it a try.
I see. If you are in favor of it, Your Honor, then I have no objections. Even this mere monk can see that something disturbs the witness. I'll disturb you.
Oh, thank you for understanding, Prosecutor, said Maddie. Apollo, remember how to conduct a therapy session, right? You want me to lead the session? Of course, you're the lead on this case, after all.
You don't need an explanation.
I think I still remember from last time, so let's get right into it. Okie dokie. You ready, Widget?
Let's do this.
Fair enough.
See, even that angle is kind of off. Because, like, if he was stabbed through, there would be blood on the stage.
On his belly and shit, yeah. Yeah. Why is it there?
Why is she...
Oh, wait, because its hat came up on the other side.
Yeah, so I think these do make sense. She's shocked because it's a mistake, and she's scared that she's messed it up for Trucy. I think that makes sense. Why is her fear low, though? Oh, nope, there it is.
Happiness. I feel so happy about it. I have to say, Mr. Pham, you're certainly a strange one. Even though you said I feel so bad about it, it seems you were feeling happy about it.
Ow!
I think I can guess why you were feeling happy. It must be because...
I think
Yeah.
yes. Because that seems to be her goal in all this. That seems to be the goal of all of them, is to get Trucy accused and get her out of the
Yep.
picture.
I think you were happy because you messed the defendant up. I'm right, aren't I?
You gotta be kidding me. Why would I be happy I messed Trucy up? I'm a big fan of hers.
Because we saw you. We saw how you said you hated Trucy right. How you're glad she was in trouble. And how, even how it was what she deserved.
Ouch!
Looks like I hit the bunny on the head, so to speak. Apollo, the noise level dropped! Now, if we could get it down to 0. Well, Mr. Pham, are you ready to confess how you really feel?
What? What? What do you mean? I'm Bonnie, the sweet, cute little bunny. When you have an
Yeah, to
angry,
me, she is.
when you have an angry face like that, and you're smacking your hand with your cane. Weaver, you still think she's cute, even though she's an angry bunny right now?
I completely 100% agree.
I'm a rookie magician and working hard to be just like my idol Trucy. That's the character I'm supposed to be.
Objection!
Oh, you're talking about Athena. Ah.
Ah. Keep that up, Mr. Pham, and you're going to have a mental breakdown. Just let yourself be who you really are.
Who I really am?
The two sides of you are fighting each other and doing your psychic harm. I can hear them. Two distinct voices battling inside you.
Shut your pie hole. You know nothing. Know-it-all. I mean, it must be fun. You mustn't say
Is she
things like that.
schizophrenic?
She might be.
Mr. Pham, how long do you insist on maintaining the wolf in sheep's clothing act? We can't end this therapy session until you get real with us. Let the wild beast inside you free.
Ouch! Grr. Don't make me laugh. You don't know a dang thing about me. You want to see who I really am? Fine, take a good look. What the heck? She's a bat!
What in the world?
Sheep's clothing. You've got it all wrong. I'm a rabbit suit I've got on. And I'm not a wolf. I'm a blood-sucking vampire. A bat with fangs and wings.
Eek! I think we just opened up Pandora's box.
I'm finally done with that goody two-shoes cottontail act. I feel free as a bat.
Defense, your therapy session has taken a turn for the worse, from the looks of it. But there's a perfectly good explanation for this. Isn't there, Miss Sykes? Ah, haha. Me thinks I created the monster.
Way blow it. Hey you, lobster boy.
What, who, me?
You think I'm glad Trucy's in trouble? That I think you're getting her just desserts? Well, guess what? You're right.
Does this mean you admit to wishing the defendant harm?
Well, the bat's out of the bag now. That mistake of mine was a work of art. Thanks to my goo, poor little Trucy had to do all of the hard physical labor.
When you say hard physical labor, what are you referring to?
5-minute sad break. Because of that, Mr. Hat's new position, Trucy had to move both those huge stage lifts. They must have been so heavy. What a riot.
That's strange. Hey, could you please add a last statement to the Bonnie's testimony? Alright, I'll update the Moon Matrix with the new info. Hey, Apollo. Now there's a new inconsistency in the testimony. Yeah, she finally slipped up, so what do I need to do now? Well, from this point onward, just do what you do best. Find the contradiction in the testimony and present evidence to refute it. Alright, I got you now, Bonnie the fan. Wait, what? She's not moving number 2.
Well, yeah, no, number 2. She had to move number 2 first. Because it was
No.
already, it was in the upright position, and she had to move it out of the way, so
Oh,
she put number
yeah.
1 into position to move her up. Maybe it's...
Wait, she told no one about this.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Like, how... Well, Bonnie could have gone down, and she would have seen they were moved.
No, she was on stage the whole time, though.
No,
That
but
just proves that
after the fact. After the show, she could have gone down and saw that they were moved.
How would she know she had to do all that heavy lifting?
Objection!
That doesn't make sense.
What? So you think I'm crazy now?
No, that's not the point I was trying to make.
But I don't hear you denying it.
Mr. Pham, allow me to repeat your statement. Thanks to that, she ended up having to move the stage lifts.
Kiki, that's right. And I still say that's just what.
But how did you know? How did you know Miss Wright moved the stage lifts?
Huh?
According to her own statement, she didn't tell anyone that she had done so.
What?
So how could you possibly know what she had done unless you saw her? You saw Miss Wright moving the lifts in the understage passage, didn't you?
Yep, I think Twin Theory's gonna win. I think Twin Theory wins. Because if she was down below, that means someone else had to be above. So who was it as a person?
You did it, Apollo. Noise levels are at 0%. But, Mr. Justice, wouldn't that mean... Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Pham herself was under the stage where the victim was killed. And I hardly need to tell the court what that means. You're one artful liar, Mr. Pham, and one spectacular suspect.
Chakra! Why, you shiny red lobster boy? You're saying I killed Mr. Ruse?
I'm saying that it's a possibility. What more? What's more? I say you had a solid motive to frame my client for murder as well.
Objection!
Objection. My apologies for raining on the defense's merry rivalry. But you seem to have forgotten one very important point.
Oh, really?
The TV footage. As you can clearly see, Mr. Pham was on stage the whole time. The entire audience can bear witness to that fact, including you.
Oh, yeah.
You have just taken a long and senseless journey only to return to the starting line. The witness could not have been in the understage passage, which means the only one left who could have killed the victim is the accused. It's not
Guess
over.
the party's over.
It's definitely not over.
But Mr. Pham knew something she couldn't have known unless she was under the stage. How do you explain that, prosecutor said Maddie.
It's quite simple. The accused must have told Mr. DeFemme about it, but then forgot. No.
Hmm.
Open those useless eyes of yours and take a good look at the footage.
If Mr. Pham really was the understage passage, it would mean she was on stage and understage at the same time. Yeah, the twin theory is right, actually.
It
Not
has
even
to
just because of this. You remember when Emma Sky was talking about fingerprints? Not even twins have the same fingerprint.
Mm-hmm.
Foreshadowing there. I just realized. You mean she was in two places at once?
Well, also, mentioning the twin stuff when talking about fingerprints is also, like, a common thing.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, just because the twins are identical, their fingerprints won't be.
But in all the other games, they've never mentioned that until now. That doesn't seem to be the only explanation that makes any sense. Maybe an explanation, but I'm not so sure about the make sense part. We'll just have to make it make sense.
Also, would Trucy know if they're twins? I think Trucy would know, right?
I don't think she would. Maybe she was being duped the entire time. Your Honor, the witness is both on stage and understage at the same time. That is the defense's assertion. I've heard some illogical things come out of you before, but this is absurd. I'm sure you'll change your tune once you hear my reasoning, Your Honor. My gut tells me you're bluffing, but I'll bite. Very well, Mr. Justice. How do you explain how the witness was in two places at once?
There was two! There was two!
There were two Bonnies, Your Honor. If that were the case, it would all make sense, wouldn't it? There were two of them?
I suspected you had a few screws loose, but now I see you are missing. Some are missing altogether. Is there a toolkit in this courtroom, Your Honor? I suppose two, no 3 screws to the head should right in his putrid brain.
Very well, bailiff. Could you? It's gonna do it. No, wait. Please listen to my argument. Very well. I suppose it wouldn't hurt at least to give it a listen. As was argued earlier, Mr. Pham is shown in the footage the whole time. But at the same time, she was also watching Miss Wright in the understage passage. The only possible explanation is that there are two Bonnies. That almost sounds like it makes sense. What do you think, Prosecutor Sabati?
This humble servant of the Holy Mother is of the opinion that we should lose no time in replacing the defense's many lost screws.
But Apollo, it goes against reality itself to say that one person is actually two. But we don't have to be bound by reality. After all, we're talking about magic here. So if Bonnie the Pham in the footage is the real Bonnie, then the Bonnie here on the witness stand is the one who must have been understage. This Bonnie the Pham is our second Bonnie. She is. Say, we'll call the one in front of us Bonnie number 2. I believe I have just a piece of evidence to prove that Miss Bonnie number 2 exists. Oh, then please submit your evidence, Mr. Justice. What proves the existence of a Bonnie number 2?
Just the fingerprints?
Go through it slowly. Yep. So you have this, and you have Bonnie's handwriting there. And you also have handwriting below on the wall.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Set of unknown fingerprints.
If her prints match the unknown one, then that's two Bonnies.
Take that!
What's this? During our investigation, we found a set of unknown prints in the coffin on stage. The prints were most likely left during the course of the show. But they didn't match the prints of any of the people involved in this case.
An unknown third party's fingerprints. I was not told of this.
Emma must have kept it from him. So the question is, who could these prints possibly belong to? Bank. Oh, no, she got it. Miss the Fam, or should I say Bonnie number 2. These are your fingerprints, aren't they?
Chakura! Enough of this foolishness. One person could not possibly be two. Those fingerprints could have been left not only during the show, but at any time.
Objection!
It's not like you to lose your cool like that, Prosecutor said Maddie. And I'm sure you know that. Exactly when the fingerprints were made is not the main issue.
It's who they belong to.
What do you mean by that, Mr. Justice?
The issue's not when they were put there, it's who they belong to.
Yeah. The issue is, who do these unknown prints belong to? They're certainly not Bonnie the Fans. But what if they belong to the person standing right in front of us? Oh, you mean Bonnie number 2 is the second Bonnie? Is that what you're implying?
Nyeh. It's preposterous to suggest that these prints belong to the witness. I say they must belong to some other unknown individual.
Well, get it done. Prosecutor said Maddie, can you really look at her and still say that?
What are you looking at? Take a picture. It'll last longer. How could this be?
We check her prints. I'm sure they'll match the unknown set. Well, Bonnie, the prints that don't belong to you, the real you, belong to you, don't they? Bonnie number 2. Witness, what is what the defense has said true?
Fine, I admit it. The fingerprints are mine.
Then does that mean you aren't Bonnie DeFam?
What? Ridiculous.
Are there really 2 Bonnies? Sup, Levius?
Hey, Levias. Nope, there's only one Bonnie. That's because I'm Betty. Betty the Farm.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, it's time for a wondrous magic show. Gasp in amazement at this, Lara Morphine illusionist performs her teleportation magic. Watch closely. It's
Put handcuffs
showtime.
on her right now.
The people behind her can see.
Not now. I love this lady so goddamn much.
It's a different umbrella. See, they're different umbrellas.
I think they're both coming in.
Yep.
I'm pooped, but I had burger, as opposed to poopy burger. What an amazing trick! The witness has suddenly split into 2 people.
It's not a trick, no gimmick to it either. They're simply twins.
I figured. What? Twins? So that's how the teleportation trick works.
Ever since our debut, I had to hide or pretend I'm Bonnie. All cute and sweet and goody goody. I can't tell you how stressful it's been. I don't have to hide it anymore. That's right. Our days of sneaking around are finally over. Yeah.
Their cover is blunt, but they actually seem pretty happy about it. Now, what you want to use the nice Bonnie the fam you met in the dressing room?
That would be me.
And the sharp-tongued Bonnie we saw with the ratings Raja understage was?
Hey, who are you calling sharp tongue?
It's all starting to make sense now. The problem is Bonnie did it.
No, I think it was Betty. Because Betty's the one understage.
Yeah.
So Betty started on stage, swapped into they did the teleportation, swapped to Bonnie. Betty went understage, did all the stuff.
Yeah. I think this was a cahoots murder between Betty and Raja.
Probably. So do we have...
But then again,
Yeah.
Betty has...
We got both of them in here now.
Yep.
Oh. No.
Certainly does. During the show, it was Bonnie who was on stage the whole time. So Bonnie couldn't have committed the crime. But Betty, on the other hand, who was understage, did have the opportunity. Smells like cinnamon.
Oh gosh, Nuyuta's not happy about this.
Well, his case essentially slipped out of his hands. Well, so we now have two suspects.
Hold it. Wait just a minute there, Lobster Boy. I didn't do it. That's right. Betty might have a foul mouth, but she'd never kill anybody. Hey, who's got a foul mouth here?
Oh my god, I love this.
Well, speak up, huh?
Hold it!
Dude, doing the twins is just very awkward. I gotta make sure I keep them straight.
Please save your sibling squabbling for later. Betty, you must have been in the understage passage during the show. Otherwise, you wouldn't have known about the stage lifts being moved. So what exactly were you doing down there?
Fine, I'll testify. Anything to get you off my back.
Prosecutor Sadmati, Betty DeFam is ready to testify. What do you say?
Betty, you lied to this humble servant of the Holy Mother. Hey, what else could I do? I couldn't blow our cover and ruin our magic act. Besides, I'm gonna go to your Twilight Hell or whatever for being a liar. You will indeed. However, it won't be after your death. Rather, I shall give you your taste of your punishment on this mortal coil in interrogation hell. Ooh. Once again, threatening a witness. You can't do that here.
Now then, Betty DeFam, please explain to this court what exactly you were doing under the stage. Here we go.
It's true. I had business in the understage passage because of the upcoming trick. It was a fire trick, right? The one Mr. Rios was supposed to do. That's right. It was a very dangerous trick, so I had to make sure we were prepared for it.
But she didn't.
It was in a script. I really wanted to see it, but I couldn't because of the accident. Shut up, you're gonna give it away. Anyway, I was real busy. Yeah, I was too busy to have the chance to kill Mr. Rios.
Dust. No water in sight. Well, that was certainly different.
Yeah. So I think this is the first time in like the release order of Ace Attorney where we had two witnesses on the stand, both giving statements.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the first time. But like, I don't. Was it ever just one of them, both of them speaking? Like when it was case 3 of Apollo Justice, when it was Lemoire and Machi.
Yeah,
Was
but
it?
that was like translation.
Yeah, it was just translation. I don't think it was actually both of them like giving separate statements. So I think it's the first time we have two different witnesses talking together.
The spin-off, and I haven't played the old
How's that for a flawless testimony and alibi?
Struggling.
Our magic is real. It's not a trick or something. Yeah, we're gonna actually screen cap that one.
YouTube views.
Get them thumbnail clicks. Let's go.
Oh my, she's floating. Oh, she's not. Your Honor. You can see she's being held up from below. You're supposed to pretend you didn't see that. It's a little something called etiquette.
What etiquette is there in a courtroom like this?
But I can't help it. Whenever I see a contradiction or inconsistency, I just have to point it out. Now the defense may begin its cross-examination.
It's picked up.
Objection!
I hate to break this to you, Debbie, but there's a big flaw in your testimony. As big as the one in that floating trick you did earlier.
Ooh, harsh words. Well, let me tell you something, forehead boy. No one has ever figured out how we do our teleportation trick.
No one except me, you mean?
Well, we have even better tricks up our sleeves. Huh? We do? I told you to keep it zipped.
Now, don't fight, you two. Mr. Justice, what's this about a flaw in the testimony? The script has this to say about the fire truck. So be dangerous. Make sure the fire bucket is ready. However, we found the fire bucket lying empty backstage except for a layer of dust.
Ouch!
You didn't even attempt to get ready for the next trick, did you, Betty?
You got me! Those poor umbrellas.
Where's the wind coming from, though?
The wind is coming from the same location that it was for Kazuma's headband.
Yep. Betty the fam, you'll explain yourself.
There's nothing to explain. Come on, Betty. We can't hide it any longer. We might as well tell them. Shut up. You can barely take care of yourself. Don't try and tell me what to do.
Well, if neither of you will explain, I guess I'll have to.
I mean...
That's it. You didn't prepare for the fire trick because you knew, didn't you? You knew that the body would be found and the show would then be cancelled.
God! Don't be ridiculous, you insignificant speck of a man. I'm gonna yank those lame bangs off of yours off. Is that what you want, huh?
Objection!
Whatever, they can grow back. Now stop stalling and just tell us the truth already.
I can't reveal my secrets. I'm a magician.
Objection.
You have been chasing the shadow of an illusionary culprit, the defense. And having chanced upon a convenient target, you've let yourself get carried away. Exactly. Where's your proof, huh? And yet, I concede that the witness's taste for false words has been proven. I advise you confine your deceitful trickery to your magic act, witness. Deceitful trickery.
Objection!
As your court-appointed therapist, I'd like to add something here, Betty. You finally let yourself be who you really are. But if you continue to hide behind lies, you'll just be imprisoning your heart all over again.
But all these questions mean you're trying to put me in prison for real. So I'll be behind bars either way.
Does that mean you're admitting your guilt?
Of course not. I can't believe you people. Every one of you thinks I did something I didn't do. You. Lobster boy, cue-ball geezer, head-seas brat, Cerberus monk. She literally just insulted everyone.
Cue-ball geezer? Head case brat? Really?
Betty, calm down. Come on now. Deep breaths. Deep breath. Look, I'm not the murderer, I tell you.
Then how did you know the show would be called off before the fire truck?
Fire trick, sir?
Fire trick.
I told you, we can't reveal our secrets. We're under contract.
They would be.
Can we get him out here yet? Can we get him out here, please?
Contract? What is she talking about? Be that as it may, you're obviously a suspect in this case.
Objection.
I'm beginning to see the karmic threads that make up the intricate tapestry of this case.
Huh?
Allow me to summarize your assertions, defense. First, that the victim was killed in the understage passage. And second, that the witness and the accused are the only two who could have done it.
Exactly. What's more, Betty knew that the body would be found. And that the magic show would then be called off.
So why do you keep doing
Therefore,
it?
it's reasonable to conclude that Betty killed the victim understage with Shiro.
But what if Betty knew that the show would be called off for some other reason?
Like what? Like the mistake?
In the course of my investigation, I found it strange that the dragon set piece fell when it did. That, in conjunction with the bodies tumbling from the coffin in such a dramatic fashion. It all seemed too perfect for mere happenstance. It was as though the entire chain of events had been planned out in advance. Ouch!
Find out.
After deciding to take this case, I scrupulously studied everything about the masses media in this country. I read the newspaper, old news reports. I even browsed tabloid magazines.
How very industrious of you. I'm impressed.
During the process, I learned about a strange practice favored by the TV world. A practice called the hidden camera prank. Ah! Betty and Bonnie, you knew about this, did you not? About the dead body appearing, the set piece falling, and the show being suspended. You two were informed of this plan. By Take-Two TV in advance, correct?
Oh.
Ah! So, Roger did make hidden camera prank comments.
He did.
So,
And he said the least popular would go through it.
so maybe he was supposed to, maybe it was supposed to be a prank on Trucy the whole time, but then someone actually killed him.
Took advantage of it.
Maybe it was meant to be a prank the whole time, but then and then someone else manipulated it.
Yep. Is that true?
Betty, please, let's tell them now. I can't hold it in anymore. Dang it, fine. You got us. Everything the prosecutor said is true. The TV station paid us to cooperate with them on this plan. It was all a prank, a big setup planned out in advance. Mr. Riz showing up dead in the coffin. The set piece falling down. It was all completely scripted. Was him actually being dead scripted?
I'm curious. Maybe he was in on it, and then... What's the motive, though? Bonnie, is this really true?
Yes. Mr. Rose was supposed to pretend to be dead. That's how it was supposed to go. Okay, so he was supposed to fake death, but he actually died.
So he was in on it too.
That's right. He was supposed to show up dead in a coffin. And then a set piece would fall down. Trucy would be shocked and start to panic. That's how the prank script went.
What? The heck kind of prank is that?
But we never thought he'd actually wind up dead. Yeah, that was the only thing that was different from the script. Oh, poor Mr. Ruse.
I'm so completely lost right now. Well, Betty and Bonnie, it certainly sounds like you have some explaining to do.
All right. I guess desperate times call for desperate measures. Just this once, we'll share how it was done with you. So listen carefully. You'll never hear this kind of thing anywhere else. Ah, okay. After our teleportation trick went down under stage, when Mr. Riz's body appeared from the coffin on stage, it was time for Betty to do her job in the understage passage. That's right. I used the remote control for the winch connected to the dragon piece. I made it fall down. And just before the dragon fell, I called Trucy to the backstage so she wouldn't get hurt. After that, the plan was for Mr. Ruse to come back to life in front of the panicked Trucy. He's supposed to laugh and fly up away. That's how it was scripted anyway. But for some reason, he really did turn up dead. So he kind of just stayed on the ground.
What kind of sick joke is that? It sounds like a terribly mean-spirited prank to me. So we literally just have proof that the literal producer was about to cancel it on purpose anyways, Party 1.
So this therefore proves that the accident causing the show to be canceled was not Trucy's fault. They just basically admitted that.
Yep. And that's his NDA falling apart.
I guess so. I'm sorry, Trucy. Whatever. It's all Raiden Raja's idea. Thank you for name dropping. Let's summon him as a witness now.
Yeah, it sounds like just the kind of thing a guy like him would come up with. Ooh.
This is a prank plan script we got from Ratings Raja.
Well, time to read it.
Mr. Reyes' body will appear in a supposedly empty coffin, which should cause a bit ruckus. After capturing a bit of Trucy's reaction on film, Mr. Reyes would come back to life, laughing and flying up into the air, causing another round of surprise.
Okay.
That's all it says.
But it doesn't say anything about the dragon, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't say the dragon drops. Dang it, you made us break our contract. Now we won't get paid.
But where does this all leave us? Who killed the victim, and when?
Yes, exactly. Those are the key questions. If Mr. Reyes was only pretending to be dead in a coffin as part of the prank, then when was he on the stage? There would still be life within him. And if that is the case, then Betty, who is also on the stage, may have be excluded from our suspects list. But that it still excludes Trucy, because Trucy even said it was a prop sword she was using. So the sword that we found was a different sword. Also, you know, he was stabbed in the back and she stabbed in the side. Hello? Witnesses. Was the victim alive up until he entered the coffin? Oh, well, now that we spilled the beans, I'll show you this video.
Oh, we have another video.
Greetings, viewers. It is I, the great Mr. Ruse. We are currently in the middle of Trucy's escape trip. We're having stuck through the understage passage undetected. I am now backstage. Prepare to play a little prank on Trucy. I'm about to hide in the coffin, which Trucy will stab with her rubber sword. Rubber sword!
Oh, he didn't know
if
either.
Trucy knew he was going to be in there, she would that could be an excuse. But she didn't know he was going to be in there. Why would she change to a metal sword? It makes no sense. And when the coffin opens, I will be in acting as though I've met my maker. Can you imagine the look on Trucy's face then? I can hardly wait.
He's about to hide in the coffin.
It would seem that the threads of comic destiny have led us to the truth. Oh, that was actually a line. It was in a flashback. The victim passed through the understage where Betty the Femme was, and then came into the backstage area. We know this because Mr. Reyes appeared to be backstage when he was shot this video.
It appears that way, yes.
And defense. You proposed the following, did you not? What if the victim was killed under the stage before being put into the coffin? But then what about this video? This footage was taken just before Mr. Reyes entered the coffin.
Oh, so does that mean?
Yes, it is horrible but true. The tragedy did indeed play out right there on the stage. But again, the position she's stabbing doesn't make sense with the wound. When it went into the coffin where Mr. Ruse was hiding, Trucy Wright thrust her blade.